Here's yet another indication that 2025 is shaping up to be a brutal year for restaurants. Texas Roadhouse, though, says it is bouncing back from earlier struggles, but Burger King's parent is feeling the consumer uncertainty. Welcome to Restaurant Daily, your quick daily download of the top stories in the restaurant industry from the editors of Restaurant Business and Nation's Restaurant News. I'm RB Managing Editor Heather Lally.
And I'm NRN Managing Editor Leanne Zinsmeister. Conditions in the restaurant industry are deteriorating. That's according to Fitch Ratings, which lowered its outlook for the U.S. restaurant industry to deteriorating from neutral, the latest in a series of indications that 2025 is proving to be tougher than many expected. Fitch cited weakening consumer sentiment, which is expected to reduce discretionary spending as inflation saps diners' disposable incomes. Fitch expects that food away from home spending could experience a decline. It also suggested that U.S. immigration policies could limit labor and drive up wages.
Texas Roadhouse bounced back after a slow start to the year. Same-store sales rose 3.5% in the first quarter, but would have been even better if it weren't for bad weather in February that forced some stores to close. Same-store sales have since recovered and were up 5% through the first part of the current quarter. The chain said it has not seen a slowdown in demand.
Shaken consumer confidence and economic uncertainty helped push down first quarter profits at Restaurant Brands International, which is parent to the Burger King, Tim Hortons, Popeyes, and Firehouse subs brands. Same-store sales in the quarter were up 0.1% system-wide. Sami Siddiqui, RBI's chief financial officer, said that much of RBI's cost of goods is local and tariff concerns with the United States were not a big concern.
Two rival tech vendors are going at it in court. Popmenu, a provider of websites and other restaurant software, is suing Owner.com over an online tool that grades restaurant websites. Popmenu says the tool is giving its websites artificially low grades and hurting its business. Owner responded that Popmenu is simply a, quote, unhappy competitor.
The owner of Papacitos Cantina is buying on the border out of bankruptcy. Houston-based Papa's Restaurants won an auction for the chain, which filed for Chapter 11 back in March. The 80-unit chain will nearly double the size of Papa's footprint and give it another Tex-Mex brand to pair with Papacitos.
DoorDash wants to do more than just delivery. That's one of the big reasons it's buying 7 Rooms, a reservations and marketing service. DoorDash said the deal will allow it to offer restaurants help growing their on-premise business in addition to delivery and takeout. It will also expand DoorDash's footprint. 7 Rooms works with more than 13,000 restaurants, hotels, and other venues all over the world.
The consumer pullback hit Sweetgreen hard in the first quarter. The fast casual chain same-store sales dropped 3.1%, including a 6.5% decline in traffic and product mix. Weather and the lingering impact from the fires in Los Angeles were blamed, but Sweetgreen also sees consumers pulling back spending. April is usually a terrific month for the brand, but this year it was not, which CFO Mitch Reback said was clearly tied to news about tariffs. But the Ripple Fries are doing well, and this week, Korean barbecue dishes are coming to the menu, which is expected to drive traffic.
Huddle House is undergoing a rebrand that includes a drive-through restaurant design. The 60-year-old family dining brand is targeting busy urban and suburban locations for the prototype, which also includes a walk-up window with the hopes of accelerating growth. The company also introduced new menu offerings, a new logo, and the tagline, "Bring it in." Huddle House's rebrand comes less than a year after its Ascent Hospitality Group sister chain rebranded from Perkins Restaurant and Bakery to Perkins American Food Company.
And that will do it for today's episode of Restaurant Daily. I'm Leanne Zinsmeister.
And I'm Heather Lally. Have a great day.
Thank you for listening to today's episode of Restaurant Daily. Rate us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and subscribe.